Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. Thank you for joining me. Here's a current view of Old Faithful. Quite a few people there. Been watching the camera last couple of days. Boy, there's getting to be more and more trees that have died off. There's a bunch up over here. And of course, along the Geyser Basin. But here's an update what's going on with Yellowstone Super Volcano. Many of the monitors were down. Here you can see Little West Thumb was down for a while. Upper Falls, Norris Junction, the borehole for Yellowstone Lake, Lake Butte, and the promontory, which I've been covering. Yeah, Parker Peak was down. East Entrance had a lot of activity. Horse Butte had a lot of activity. I'll show you that. All the red lines means the computer picked up an earthquake and sends a message to the geologist to investigate what was going on. Hawks Rest. Yeah, look at that. They had some data missing too. I don't know why they had problems with the monitors, but you can see a thickening of the lines down here. Quick view of Old Faithful going off. Let me bring this over so you can see the dead trees. See them up in there? Another one, another one, another one. Here's the spectrogram when they came back online. Yeah, let's jump around here and look at some of these. Hold on. And for some reason, when I bring it down farther, all of a sudden, the data won't play. Yeah. Censoring information. Here's the most current view using the monitor that I have. Up at the top here's Yellowstone Lake. This is Lake Butte. And then down here we have the promontory. Look at that. Blobs of magma on the move. And then over here, let me bring this over. We get some earthquakes, and I'll bring it back another 4 hours. Yeah, see where it started up and where it ended. Lots of shaking was going on there at Yellowstone Lake. We got one very small earthquake here, and I'll extract that and make it bigger. And I'll go back another 4 hours. And that's where it's shut down at. This earthquake right here is a tectonic earthquake. I'll pull it from another spot, but it was in all three spots. And, oops, I'll pull it from there. And I'll bring it over. So I extracted the most recent data. And you can see we got harmonic tremors. Yeah, I'll pull it over a little bit for you so you can see more. And they moved the camera again. Again here you can see the dead trees. And then I want to briefly cover, because I find it very suspicious, that the U.S. government had a secret meeting, a private meeting, on the 5th of this month to build up a stockpile of medical supplies. Here's a Twitter post that I shared. It says the Biden administration met privately this month with some of the nation's biggest healthcare companies and lobbying organizations. We know what we think about lobbying organizations, to discuss how to rework the healthcare supply chain. Some 30 companies, including 3M, etc., were all involved. Members of the California Nursing Association, which sponsored the bill, says a long-term supply of protective gear is vital to ensuring staff safety, not just during the COVID pandemic, but for other infectious diseases outbreaks that may have occurred or may occur. The major cities are getting ready. San Francisco Bay Area, Marin's 3 hospitals, Marin Health Medical Center, Sutter's Health Novato Community Hospital, and Kaiser Permanente San Rafael Medical Center, saying they are complying with the stockpiling mandate which took effect on Thursday. That was last week. They passed a law if they don't comply, they're going to be fined. The Law Assembly Bill 2537 states where the hospitals can be fined up to $25,000 for each violation. Members of the California Nursing Association, which sponsored the bill, say a long-term supply of protective gear is vital to ensuring staff safety, not just during the COVID-19 pandemic, but for other infectious diseases outbreaks that may occur and have occurred. Amongst the companies that were invited to this meeting, this secret meeting at the White House, says that DuPont was invited to the private workshop held via WebEx on April 5th, along with lobbying groups representing drug makers, hospital pharmacists, and drug distributors, according to an invite obtained by STAT. I'll give you a link to the article. Here's the article about stockpiling. I mean, they've used to stockpile years ago during the Reagan administration. They stockpiled on cheese and butter and different things and medical supplies, and they seem to stop it. And now, all of a sudden, they're stockpiling, which is good. But it makes me wonder, what are they stockpiling for? Another article about domestic preparedness, and it goes in about the shortages that have happened in the past, the 9/11 terrorist attacks. In 1999, the Strategic National Stockpile was established. In 2001, World Trade Center anthrax attacks they mentioned. 2005, Hurricane Katrina and Rita. 2008, Hurricane Gustav and Ike. 2009, the H1N1 pandemic. 2010, Hurricane Alex and North Dakota flooding. So this stockpile would cover not just for diseases, but also for biological, nuclear, all kinds of different types of things. Volcanic eruptions. Another article that states that Wichita County Public Health District is getting $60,000 grant from the state of Texas. It's part of the Strategic National Stockpile, which provides items such as antibiotics, vaccines, and other critical medical supplies in case disaster strikes. So I posted on Twitter, in case disaster strikes, what are they planning for? War? Flooding? Hurricanes? Tornadoes? Domestic volcanic eruptions? Who knows? That they're not being specific. And why all of a sudden did they have this meeting in secret on the 5th to organize the transportation, the tracking of the transportation for a new stockpile of medical supplies? So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe. And I will talk to you later. God bless you all. Bye.